What's up guys, welcome to another video. So in this video I'm going to be going over Devora's third variation. Now before we get started, I have to say the reason I have Devora versus Devora is the most disgusting character I've ever come across in my entire existence, and I don't want her tainting the other cast by touching them with her combos, so she has to fight Devora. But anyway, so the first thing we'll be going over, that would be her air fly. So basically this character can fly. Yeah, she can freaking fly, and if you hold it, she goes across the entire screen. I'm like, that is kind of crazy. She freaking flies, and like, she can, like, when she comes down, she can go with her kick or whatever. So one thing is this, you can't cancel like it early. Basically, like, this is the default length it goes, so it has to go that length before you can do anything. So whilst traveling that little distance, you can air to air it. But like, let's say I decide to extend it, at any point I can cancel it while extending it. Because you see here, you hold X and you can basically like fly like forever almost. Alright, and the next move I'm going to cover is her flipping out move. So with this move, it basically hits like a double overhead, and she can do the same thing in the air. And as you saw there, if you hit this twice in a row, it does get a crushing blow, and you can do this combo. Let me just show you the combo real quick. It's not bad. Basic thing, some good damage. But just be careful with this move. It is minus 22, whether you do it from the air or the ground or whatever. So yeah, in this move you can even use like the fly ability to like go along with it. So this is like really good. It's actually kind of good counter zoning too. They're zoning you out, you just fly in and you can just get your kick overhead nonsense in. So that is pretty cool. And her last one is this one, her Bombardier beetle, which is kind of like an other variation where she throws a little bug and like it goes and it shoots like a little projectile. But this one, instead of shooting a projectile, like, it just jumps at you, but it doesn't even go that far. But one thing is pretty cool. You meter burn it, and it, yeah, it goes to the end. So it makes it a low attack. But here's something that is kind of retarded about this. You can do this, and that's a double overhead. You could make this in a way which is, this is almost unblockable. Because it's a low and double overhead. You can, like, time it to where you can do overhead, low overhead. And it's just like, you can't, like, no normal person's gonna block that. Like, I tried to see if it was actually unblockable, so I put the computer to block everything. So they can block it, but look how the computer's blocking. It was like overhead, low overhead, and you can time it in such a way that we time it a little bit later. It's like low 2 overheads or whatever. So it's a legitimate mix-up, and it's pretty much guaranteed because it's not always like high, low, high. Sometimes it could be high, high, low, or low, high, high, depending on like the timing I decide to do this move. So that's kind of crazy. Now in terms of her combos in this variation, it's the same as her like basic one. She has the same B&Bs, it's the same combo extender. I mean, she could let me get this right. She can end the combo with this if she wants to. It does less damage, but it does put her like right in your face, so that is pretty cool. Now the setups with this, I could imagine, could be pretty cool, but you don't really get anything cool off a grab though, because you get a grab. Let me see, I'm gonna have them throw tech, see what happens. So I wanted to try out this setup with a grab, but it doesn't really work because before, like, I have Devora set to like look, the tech my throws. So normally with the other I forgot what it was called, the first variation, where you throw the little projectile on the ground, little bug thing, the one that shoots out a little bug, that little like fly that comes out like a projectile. Because that one, if you do a grab and they tech your throw, by the time before they recover from that, little bug hits them, and then you're able to get a full combo with this into this or whatever. But this one, you try to go for a grab, but you know, you just get immediately hit out of it. So it's not that good. But what it's good for is the fact to make it a low if you spend the bar and pretty much make an unblockable situation. So that's pretty cool. So overall, I think this variation is pretty interesting. Now, I did fight one Devora with this variation before I knew what it did, and I got confused like crazy. I got overhead mixed up with this. Yeah, it's pretty scary because literally you can, at this range, you're scared of the overhead and you can actually get comboed by this, which is pretty scary, pretty freaking scary. So This is pretty legitimate. I think this is pretty cool. But of course, if you block this, even if you block it in the air or low, or whatever, you're really punishable. So you gotta use it sparingly. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
12 seconds later.
Honestly, now that I think about it, though, it's like high risk, high reward, because at close range to where this first part actually hits, this is punishable at this range. Now, if you were to do this move like from here, it's safe. But this is obviously really punishable, so it's high risk and pretty low reward, because this has to hit twice in a row for a crushing blow. And I know I'm not optimizing with that little combo I did earlier, but it's not that much damage. Like, this is only 260. Maybe if you optimize it with two of these, it's like 290, 270, whatever. It's still not that much damage. It's kind of like, if you think about it, Raiden's overhead. Now this one has a lot more range than that. You can do it in the air, so it does better. But Raiden's overhead has hit twice in a row before you can even get a crushing blow combo off it. And just like this one, Raiden's is very punishable, but this one is more obvious of a punish. But it's still very unsafe. So really, Devora up close, you have no real reason to block low. I mean, yeah, they can low poke you. And again, yes, you can low poke you in jail, so it is pretty dangerous. But for the most part, if you see the opponent's doing a lot of overheads or trying to fly, then overhead, you know, this blocker, and you can get a full combo punish for it. So is this variation viable? If you ask me, I'm not really a Devora player, so I don't know too much about it, to be honest. But it seems pretty cool. I think this is more of a mix-up heavy one. So I think this one's pretty good. Pretty good. And I think it is probably viable in some matchups. Definitely to get in on zoners. That's what I see there. It's more of a rush down Devora. Well, that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.